Hey y'all, welcome to the Kubernetes Rollbacks tutorial. Today we'll cover how to approach rollbacks in Kubernetes with both the kubectl CLI as well as Helm. We'll be working with deployments and replica sets and using an existing app. As always, the commands and manifests will be in the description below. Without further ado, let's get into it. We'll start by defining a rollback with Kubernetes. Pretty simply, it's taking a current state and rolling back to another prior state. Hopefully one that was working. It's way easier than having to go find another image tag or make a change in a manifest and apply that to create a new good state. It could be used if a change had unintended results and you need to get back quick. It's useful with the rolling update strategy. Now that we've set that, let's get into the demo and we'll go through some important concepts. Let's start by getting a cluster up. We are going to use minikube and we're going to pin the version for Kubernetes at 1.23.3. So here's the command. I'll put it in the comments and I'll see you on the other side. I have my cluster up and then my IDE. I'll show you. See, I have the nodes. That is there. The 1.23.3. We're all set. And we're going to start creating the manifests. We're going to use the ones that we have from the rolling updates video here, and I'm going to customize a bit. We'll go through some of that. So I have this. I have a rollbacks with the same thing. It's just copied and pasted. A couple little updates on the deployment. Again, the service is the same. It's a standard load balancer, port 80, nothing novel or unique there. So the same one we've always used. I'm keeping the 1.1.0 in terms of version. I'm going to change this to V1 from latest. And then I have the rolling update stuff here. One update I am going to make, and we're going to talk about this in a minute, and you'll see what we're doing this with this shortly, but we're going to add something called revision history limit, and then we're going to set that to 5. So that is new, and that's something that we're going to do for this rollback piece. And let's go ahead and get this up, and we will see what's going on in the history. So again, we're doing this in the default namespace, but I've created the deployment and I've created the service. The first thing I want to do to set the stage on rollbacks and what we're going to be doing, so some of the important things and figure out the tools are when we're rolling back, is go through the rollout history. So we're going to start with kubectl rollout history deployment demo. Okay, great. So we can see with the kubectl rollout history command, I have a history of the deployments here. Again, it's my first deployment. It's not a whole lot. But I'm starting to see what Kubernetes has insight into. This is also what I was doing with the revision history limit over here, setting how many of these I can see. The default is actually 10, so it's a pretty good number, but I'm just adding it in here to help illustrate. We're not going to have more than 5 for the purposes of the demo. But looking through this, the first thing I see is there is change cause and there is none. Why is that? So Kubernetes actually has some options to help annotate this that we can make use of to help make sense of what's going on. The first thing we can do is if we want to add something to a current deployment, I can do that with an annotation. I can see it in the docs. Let me pull these up. So in the docs here, you can see kubectl, annotate, and then the deployment. And then you're going to do the change cause, and you can have the different version or whatever you want the change cause to be. So let's annotate ours, and we'll take a look. We will do annotate deployment demo kubernetes.io change cause equals v1 first image. So that annotation is there. Let's go ahead and see what changed. Cool. We can see that we now have a change cause. So that annotation in the deployment has been added. I wanted some info in there, and we got the info in there. So we've added it to the metadata for this version. The second option is a -- record option. It's not necessarily the most useful thing in practice, but it'll let you add in the command to some metadata for change cause if you add the flag. So let's create a new version and we'll apply this. So let's say the new version, let's do version 2, let's do D2 here, and then let's make this metadata 2. So new image, and it's going to actually create a new version. So apply rollbacks, and then -- record. You can see it's deprecated, it'll be removed in the future, but it's not important for now. We're going to kind of run through some of the pieces for the demonstration purposes. So configured, that is new. And let's see what's going on. So let's get the rollout history of this. And you can see that the change cause is the command that I had with, I guess, a couple of the little convenience things added. So really cool. We do have a new change cause there. Let's go ahead and apply a new one with no change cause, and we'll see, and then we'll kind of bounce back and run through a rollback on it. So V3, and V3 over here. Okay, let's apply this thing. Cool. So those are changed. And then back to the history, we can see history there. So 1 annotated, 1 record, 1 none. So we're going to be playing around with those. But so now I can see the history. Let's run through a scenario where this does need to get rolled back. To use the rollback functionality for deployment, you can use rollout undo. This sends it back to the last version. So let's go ahead and roll this back now. Rollout, kubectl, rollout undo, deployment demo, and that's it. It rolled back. What just happened? So kubectl starts by finding the replica set that goes with the deployment that we want. If we're rolling back to version 1, it finds that. In this case, it was version 2. It found that. It takes down the current replicas, and then it increases the old ones. So it's a rolling update, but in reverse. And then finally, it updates the revision, so it'll actually increment 1. So let's see the history. You can see that it is, wow, it's revision number 4. So that, is a new revision. The 2 moved down to 4, so that's the most recent, but it rolled back to that second one initially. So really cool to see that in action. And then let's say there's a scenario, though, where maybe there have been a few updates in between, and you need to go back to a certain state. You don't want to just sit there and guess with all the rollbacks, do it one by one. Situation and Git happens with me all the time as well. It doesn't have to just be the last one. You can go ahead and select the one you want. So you can do kubectl rollout undo deployment demo. Let me make this a little smaller. And then -- revision, and then we're going to do revision number 1 for this one. So let's see, this should be you can see the first image, the V1. So we've rolled back to that first revision. You go ahead and you can select the actual one you want to run to. So now what if you are doing this and you're managing this all with Helm and you're not using the kubectl command line, and you also want to roll back? There's a built-in way to do this as well. So really cool stuff we're going to go into. Let's go ahead and update the Helm charts and get it out there, and we'll do it. So I have the Helm, I have the values here. I'm going to change the tag to V1. This is the initial Helm chart that we had with our 0 to DevOps tutorial. So we're using that one, and it's called React App. I'm going to go ahead and install this on the cluster. So let's go into Helm charts, and I'll do Helm install React App, and then React App. So that is revision 1, and that is deployed. Let's see. Helm history. Oops. We can see 1 revision, the app version, and the React App. So it's chart as React App 0.1.0. Let's go ahead and adjust this to be V2 for the Helm chart there, and then let's do Helm upgrade. React App. So revision number 2. So let's do Helm history React App. We can see 2 revisions down there, status superseded. And then if I want to roll back in Helm, really easy actually to do. It's Helm, rollback, React app, and number 1. Rollback was a success. Helm is really cool. That was a really easy way to run that rollback there. So very cool, similar to what we just saw before. You supply the number you want to roll back to for the revision, the chart you want to roll back, and then just the Helm rollback command. And that's it for rollbacks. Really great built-in functionality, both with the kubectl, the kubectl command line, and then Helm to do this effectively with rolling updates. So they pair like peas and carrots. I hope that was helpful. If you do have any questions or commentary, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see y'all next time.